What if I told you that one Instagram live didn't just go viral? It became evidence. No warning. No countdown. Just a phone camera rolling while the energy in the room suddenly shifted. One moment it was jokes, laughter, comments flying. The next, silence, panic, confusion, and thousands of people watching in real time, asking the same question at the same exact second. Did that really just happen? Because once the clip hit the timeline, nothing made sense anymore. Screenshots started circulating. Accounts went private. Posts disappeared. And suddenly, Nipsey Hussle's name, a name that already carries weight, history, and controversy, was being pulled back into another violent headline. Was this just another tragic street incident caught on camera? Or was it something deeper, something connected to unspoken rules, old grudges, and a legacy the internet still doesn't fully understand? See, when violence goes live, the truth doesn't come out clean. It comes out fractured, edited, weaponized. And everyone thinks they know what they saw, until you start asking the questions nobody wants to answer. So tonight, we're not here to jump to conclusions. We're here to break down what went viral, why it mattered, and how one live stream turned into a conversation the streets and the internet still haven't stopped arguing about. Los Angeles at night has a language of its own. Neon lights flicker across empty streets, the hum of distant traffic mixing with the faint pulse of sirens that never fully fade. In this city, silence can feel louder than any gunshot, and tension hangs heavy in the air like smog. It's here, in the middle of one of these seemingly ordinary nights, that a single Instagram live would become a moment nobody would forget, a broadcast that seemed harmless at first, but carried the weight of the city's unspoken rules, of respect, of legacy. Before the stream even began, there was a nervous energy in the air. The cars lined up outside, the faint smell of exhaust, the laughter of people who had no idea that a line was about to be crossed. On one side, you had young artists, influencers, and affiliates scrolling through their phones, joking, flexing, trying to catch clout in a city that demanded it but punished recklessness. On the other, there was history, tension layered over generations, a legacy that refused to be ignored. Every mural, every block, every whispered street name carried the memory of someone who had paid the ultimate price for stepping wrong. And tonight, unbeknownst to the thousands who would tune in, all of that history was about to collide with live-streamed reality. Nipsey Hussle's name still echoes through the neighborhoods, even years after his passing. Not just a rapper, not just a celebrity, he was a symbol. A man who had transcended the limits of the streets, yet never abandoned them. The murals painted across LA weren't just tributes. They were sacred markers, silent warnings, lessons in respect. To disrespect them wasn't just disrespecting art. It was challenging a code that had been lived, breathed, and enforced long before cameras existed. That weight wasn't something his affiliates could escape. It followed them everywhere, quietly, until the moment came when it would roar. Inside the car where the stream would take place, there was laughter, chatter, and the faint hum of a car engine. Phones pointed, comments flying in, viewers hitting, like, as if they were in on some inside joke. But even amid the casual vibe, there was an edge. Tiny glances, pauses, subtle movements. People instinctively knew that the streets weren't forgiving. One wrong word, one careless gesture, and a digital audience could witness consequences that in any other place would be unseen, unrecorded. And then there were the affiliates themselves, young, ambitious, hungry for relevance. Social media was their stage, clout their currency. To them, this Instagram live was another chance to shine, to assert influence, to show that they were connected to something bigger than themselves. But what they couldn't ignore, no matter how loud their laughter or how flashy their jewelry, was the invisible weight of Nipsey's legacy, pressing down like a shadow across the city. It demanded respect. It demanded caution. And in a city like LA, where fame and danger coexist like smoke and fire, ignoring that weight could be catastrophic. The murals, the corners, the alleyways, they weren't just backdrops. They were reminders. Of loyalty, of history, of lessons learned the hard way. Every viewer watching the live, every person scrolling through their feed, would unknowingly witness the tension build. It wasn't obvious at first. Nothing was. Just subtle cues, flickers in expression, tiny shifts in posture. But the city has a rhythm, and the rhythm tonight was offbeat. The calm before the storm, almost imperceptible, yet undeniable to those who understood the unspoken language. By the time the first viewer commented, "This energy feels weird," it was already too late. The camera was rolling. The world was watching. And the streets were holding their breath. As the live streamed on, the laughter began to fade. Comments scrolled faster than the camera could capture. Hundreds, then thousands of people reacting in real time to the subtle shift in energy. Something wasn't right. Faces tightened. Voices dropped. Even over the digital distance, viewers could feel it, tension hanging like a storm cloud ready to burst. The city itself seemed to pause, waiting for what was about to unfold. The affiliates, once brimming with confidence, now exchanged fleeting glances, small movements that told a story only those who had lived the streets could read. They weren't just performers in a social media show. They were players in a game layered with history, loyalty, and rules older than most of the accounts following them. Each mural, each block, each whispered warning from the past pulsed through the room, a quiet drumbeat of respect and consequence. To disrespect Nipsey Hussle's legacy, even indirectly, was to risk everything. Anonymous messages began circulating online almost immediately. "Y'all see this?" one text read. "Energy's off. Something's about to pop." Others laughed it off, assuming typical drama. But for those who understood, every small gesture, every pause, every camera shift carried weight. Observers speculated, was it rival affiliates, someone testing boundaries, or just nerves from being live in front of thousands? No one could know for sure, and that uncertainty only amplified the tension. Meanwhile, the streets were reacting as fast as the internet. Memes, screenshots, and videos began to circulate, each iteration adding another layer of chaos. Social media became a pressure cooker of speculation. Online personalities weighed in with takes ranging from casual commentary to urgent warnings. Every clip, every comment, every emoji amplified the narrative. Something was wrong, and everyone watching felt it, even if they didn't understand why. Inside the car, subtle movements turned into whispers, and whispers turned into action. Phones were repositioned, glances exchanged, and the atmosphere thickened with anticipation. To outsiders, it might have looked like a group of young men joking and flexing. But those who knew the code, the unspoken rules of murals, respect, and loyalty, could read the signs. The slightest misstep could trigger a chain reaction, one that the world would witness without the ability to intervene. Across LA, the murals served as silent witnesses. Paintings of Nipsey Hussle, vibrant and defiant, reminded everyone of a man who had transcended the streets while never abandoning them. They represented opportunity, respect, and a legacy that demanded protection. And tonight, that weight wasn't theoretical, it was immediate. The affiliates on the live were navigating a delicate dance, balancing public visibility with private responsibility. One wrong move, one careless joke, one subtle disrespect, and the consequences would be undeniable. Back online, speculation became obsession. Hashtags trended, clips looped endlessly, and commentators tried to decode every movement. Every angle of the camera, every fleeting facial expression, was dissected. Thousands of strangers watched, analyzed, and predicted what would come next, unaware that the real story was being written silently, in split-second decisions and unspoken understanding. By the end of the stream, the tension had reached its peak. The city, the internet, and everyone caught in between felt it, a moment where history, loyalty, and digital culture collided. The live wasn't just a broadcast anymore, it was a lens into the invisible rules that govern respect, legacy, and survival. And while viewers speculated endlessly, the affiliates themselves carried the full weight of that storm, knowing that the real consequences often happen far from cameras, even in a city that never forgets. The aftermath was immediate, though not always visible. Social media buzzed with speculation, clips were shared on endless loops, and the streets whispered the kind of stories that never make headlines. Every follower, every commenter, every viewer felt the weight of what had happened, even if none of them truly understood the rules that had been tested. For the affiliates, the consequences weren't hypothetical. They were real, and they were close. In LA, rumors travel faster than the police, and tonight was no exception. Even as authorities investigated, the city had already drawn its own conclusions. Loyalty, respect, and unspoken codes dictated responses far more immediate than legal proceedings. People who had survived similar situations knew that online reactions were fleeting. Real consequences happened in the shadows, where Instagram Live cameras could not reach. The affiliates were caught between two worlds, the digital one where millions watched, and the physical one where respect and retaliation were enforced without filters. Meanwhile, Nipsey Hussle's legacy continued to loom large, a silent yet omnipresent force. Every mural, every corner named in his honor, every story told on the streets reminded everyone that his influence didn't die with him. To be affiliated with his name was to inherit both prestige and responsibility. The clout gained online came with invisible strings, a constant reminder that fame without respect could turn dangerous in an instant. Those who sought attention quickly learned that visibility also invited scrutiny, and scrutiny in these circles is never casual. The public reaction was a mix of horror, fascination, and obsession. Clips from the live were dissected on podcasts, Twitter threads went viral, and commentary flooded Instagram and TikTok. Each post, each analysis, each meme added layers to the narrative. But the truth, the underlying dynamics of legacy, loyalty, and respect, remained invisible to most. Some tried to trivialize it as another viral stunt. Others recognized the pattern of tension, history, and consequence that had played out in real time. Either way, the event cemented itself as a moment that would be studied, shared, and speculated on for years to come. Within the community, the ripple effects were immediate. Mentors, peers, and longtime allies of Nipsey's circle reinforced the importance of rules that outsiders couldn't see. The murals weren't just art, they were boundaries, reminders of the line between respect and recklessness. And those who were closest to Nipsey's legacy understood the stakes. One misstep could ignite a chain reaction far beyond what any Instagram Live could capture. Yet amidst the tension, there was also reflection. Nipsey's story, his rise, his influence, his sacrifices, reminded everyone that this was bigger than clout, bigger than a single broadcast. His life, his principles, and the respect he commanded shaped the way his affiliates navigated these moments, even under pressure. Fame may have magnified the risk, but legacy, history, and lessons from the streets provided the map. As the night ended and the camera finally stopped rolling, the echoes lingered. Screens went dark, comments slowed, and the city exhaled. But the weight remained, of what had almost happened, of what could have happened, and of the enduring truth. In a city like Los Angeles, in a world where legacy and loyalty collide with digital obsession, every choice carries consequence, every glance can tell a story, and some lessons are learned too late for those watching from the comfort of their screens. So now, after everything you've seen, what's the real story here? Are we witnessing the streets in all their raw, unfiltered chaos? Or is this just a carefully edited version of events someone wants us to believe? Who really holds the power when clout, legacy, and respect collide? And more importantly, what does it say about the world we live in when a single Instagram Live can carry the weight of an entire city's history? Think about it. While millions watched on their phones, scrolling, commenting, laughing, or gasping, there were rules at play that the average viewer will never fully understand. Lessons about respect, loyalty, and legacy that don't come with hashtags or trending tags. Nipsey Hussle's influence isn't just music, isn't just fame, it's a living, breathing culture, one that can uplift or punish in ways the internet can barely capture. And when boundaries are tested, consequences aren't delayed, they hit fast, they hit hard. And yes, sometimes the world is watching. So here's the question for you. Do you see this as entertainment? Or do you see it as a cautionary tale? Are you just scrolling past? Or are you paying attention to the deeper patterns, the invisible codes, the lessons from the streets that don't make headlines? Every like, every share, every comment adds to the narrative. Are you shaping it or just consuming it? If you want to see the full truth behind the stories, the events that nobody else dares to break down, The hidden dynamics that turn fame into danger. Then don't just sit there. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What would you do if you were caught in a live stream where history, respect, and survival all collided at once? The streets are watching. The legacy is watching. And now, the question is, are you watching closely enough?